good morning all. I'm happy to see so many people here on this auspicious occasion. I think it's very appropriate that we do this at 11 o'clock on Memorial Day, because at 11 o'clock on Memorial Day, at the tomb of the unknown soldier, they are also dedicating for all our veterans that have passed. Brethren of the Grand Lodge of Oregon, it gives me great pleasure to continue an important tradition in the Grand Lodge. Last year, Worship Brother Gary Leinert, past master of Portland Lodge number 55, rediscovered this tradition. Worship Brother Ken Hall found a description of this tradition described in a 1949 research paper by Frank Knoll. It states that the Grand Lodge each year reverently places a wreath of fraternal remembrance at the graveside of Berryman Jennings. Before we continue, let us begin by giving reverence to deity with the prayer dedicated to our departed brethren. Worship Brother Dan, please assume an attitude of prayer.
Great architect of the universe, source of all light and giver of all good graces, be with us now as we remember the true purpose of our fraternity. We are reminded that the relationships form a great circle which encompasses the past as well as the present, and that the same duties that bind us to each other also bind us to our fraternal ancestors. We have received our inheritance through them. By remembering the lessons and sacrifices of those who have gone before us, we may, by their example, better our own lives and those of our fellow men. Today we honor the chain you have created that we call the mystic circle that is forged with links that extend into eternity. In honoring our brethren past, we are thus reminded that what virtue unites, death cannot separate. Amen.
So mote it be. At this time, and with your indulgence, I humbly and respectfully place this wreath on behalf of the Masonic Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons of Oregon and all fraternal brethren in Oregon in remembrance here at the final resting place of Most Worship Brother Jennings. It is my hope that the Grand Lodge will support and continue this ceremony each and every Memorial Day henceforth, and that the Masons from all our lodges will continue to honor this fine Mason by gathering for this ceremony. Berryman Jennings was one of 9 members of the Grand Lodge that was first formed. There were only 9 of them. Berryman Jennings attended lodge in California, and there is a lodge in California that was named Berryman Lodge. It was thereafter changed to Jennings Lodge. An area of Portland was named Jennings Lodge. So Berryman Jennings was a very important person in the formation of the state of Oregon, because as you probably know, in 1851, when the Grand Lodge was formed, Oregon was simply a territory. It was not yet a state. It wasn't named a state until 1859 on St. Valentine's Day. As I said, Berryman Jennings was one of only 9 men who formed the Grand Lodge of Oregon. The man that brought the charter out, a man by there were 2 brothers, Orrin and I forget the other guy's name, Kellogg. And Kellogg is also buried in this very same cemetery, and he was the man who brought out the charter for the Grand Lodge of Oregon. As you may know, it took him 2 years to bring it out because it was the time of the gold rush. And so it took him a while to get here because he was out searching for gold on the way. Berryman Jennings started a great tradition for the Grand Lodge of Oregon. It is a very successful Grand Lodge because of all the things that it does. And he is, as the first Grand Master, has been followed by many, many Grand Masters after him. And the Grand Lodge of Oregon is today one of the, well, I think it's the best Grand Lodge in the United States. and one of the reasons it's such a great Grand Lodge is because they have done well to keep their financial condition in great order. Today, the Grand Lodge of Oregon is worth over $80 million. Many people do not know that, but we have a beautiful Grand Lodge out in Forest Grove that was erected many years ago. The first orphan and widow's home was erected out there and is now leased back to the Grand Lodge of Oregon as the Grand Lodge owned by McMenamins. Brethren, this concludes the remembrance ceremony of honoring our first Grand Master, Most Worshipful Brother Jennings. Godspeed on your journey home, and you may enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day.